Okay, everybody, let's go. A little bit of Division 1 action, the Mythical Championship. So now that we actually fought our way all through Division 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, we are finally ending up at Division 1, where even Division S players are sometimes contributing, as you can see here on the side of the blue team. HYPE PEW PEW in map number 1 of the best of 3 is starting up on the left side on Volskaya Foundry with MXD on Anduin, Blank on Hammer. We have Halcyon on Tyrael and Swampgrotta on Zarya, as usual I want to say. Rico and Reyna, and to the right side, Hooye Polucky with the Will Q on Garrosh, Balsa on Liming, Dylan Malfurion, Goride on Sylvanas, and Richu is playing Leoric. So a lot of those names should actually ring a bit of a bell here. We have a lot of players that did not only participate in the in-house leagues, for example, but also have been part of Division S teams in the past, swapped in a few times. So off we go. Let's have a little bit of a look how this is going to pan out here. This is again a best of 3 series, and we're currently looking, if I'm not mistaken, at the winner bracket final actually of this. It's a little bit of a weird tournament system. I plan again to cast 3 games in total out of this series, and this is going to be the first one. And the level of play that you can see here, we are again in Division 1 of HeroesLaunch.gg. The level of play is roughly around the Master and Grandmaster level. That's where most of these guys are playing. So this is just below Division S what we're currently looking at. And with that, we should have some pretty solid gameplay here. Already, nice isolation. The save from Anduin though. Swampgrotta for just a moment in trouble. And here we go. So, with that, we now have all the way up to the top. Already a little bit of a push out, but Balsa is there to soak all the experience. Blank is down at the bottom of the map to do his thing. And, well, let's have a bit of a look at the camps. Because, interestingly enough, the blue team has now decided to go for the healing beacon first. This is the kind of variation that you can go for on Volskaya Foundry that I've talked about in the past a few times. So you make the play for the healing beacon while your opponent has heroes at the bottom right on their turret. The problem is you then have to fight for this one. And there's already the attack towards Halcyon. Is able to jump out though, but they are not grabbing the turret anytime soon, and Goride is already trying to invade this, so the red team is going to be eager to try and see if they can maybe grab the second turret, now that they had let the healing beacon pass. Yeah, they're already trying to grab it, and that might actually work out. Level 1 talents, by the way, Exterminator is in, and we also have Feel the Heat for Zarya. Here comes our setup. Turret is already taken though, about to be, and now they could drop it if they need to during the team fight here. Zarya is already a little bit low. They're starting to make the play again. Over here towards the right side though, the red team on the run. Could be the first blood in this case, and it is. Turret still gets grabbed. Leo didn't drop it, but as you can tell, they actually dropped the healing beacon. This is a bit of a problem for HYPE PEW PEW now, because as we're heading into the first objective, we're going to look at 2 items against 0 in favor of Hooye Polucky. That's going to be a bit of a problem. With the healing beacon dropped, but both of the turrets still available for the red team. That's a bit of an issue here. Now down to the bottom of the map. That's where we already have our setup here. Yeah, there comes the attack as they're trying to go for the kill against the bot lane wall. Which would actually... I mean, this is seemingly working out. So of course, Will Q is going to try and flip Hammer over. But doesn't quite work out for them yet. It's a kill against 0, with Leo falling a bit earlier. But with Hammer not having access to the level 7 talent, the first objective is going to be a bit rough for HYPE PEW PEW. Won't be able to really use that mobility that you get with level 7 once you go into the hover siege mode. Trying for it on level 4. Speed bubble for Zarya. That's definitely going to help with a bit of no mobility here. And Hammer is still sitting at the bottom of the map trying to get them some experience. And the same is actually happening in topside. Riku is playing the safe and staying on the mount the entire time until he has full vision over everybody in the middle of the map. So there's no gank that he has to be careful about. They want level 7. They need it for Hammer. And they're gonna get it way, way faster than the opponent. So that should give them the control over the checkpoint in just another moment. Will Q is trying to hold it for as long as he possibly can to get his own progress. Bit increased, but here we go. Hover Siege was in, and we have actually the regenerative Biosteel on level 4 for Sergeant Hammer. So Blank is not going into the traditional setup, which is kind of interesting. No siege tactics for him. Level 7, Li Ming, not making the choice just yet. There it is, Calamity is now out. But Hammer, with the added mobility, is now in a much, much better spot, of course, to contribute in the fight itself. Level 7 also gives us the Swift Retribution. That's another one. The attack speed on heroes like Jimmy, Zarya, and also Hammer is going to be quite nice for them. So at this point, still the setup. Yeah, there's Blank. And here we have it. Blank immediately getting swapped in. Wilq is coming through. The 2 turrets have already been dropped, as mentioned earlier. Red team very eager to get the first protector here. Again, this is going to be a hugely important series. The winner of this series is already going to move on to the grand final. And yep, with this little setup, we now have the advantage on the side of the blue team, but not for long, since we still have full control, with even a 3rd turret that was taken a little bit previously over here on the bottom right. Yeah, big attack now, body blocking against Wilq. Oh, and he survives with 49 hit points. Is still able to keep himself in play, had also the cooldown on the fountain still up, but now the turrets are all destroyed, and there's still one for the blue team. Everybody wants to be the first team to make it into the grand final here. The losing team is not out of the tournament yet. They will drop down into the lower bracket and then still have a chance to make their play there. But for the time being, both of them are going to be very determined to avoid the loser's bracket, make it straight into the grand final. And this is the series that's going to make it happen for one of them. The best of 3, as I mentioned, grand final is going to be a best of 5, of course. Vamkrota with a shield, speed barrier, there's the flip, and he's down. There's the 2nd kill, and oh my god, triple kill for Hooye Polucky as they come in and just take them down. Easy peasy. Push through the middle now, and they have taken a huge lead in experience thanks to those kills. So they're nearly on level 10. There's also nobody to defend at this point. If you take 3 down with this, you're gonna be in huge trouble. They're even trying to make the play now for the fort in the middle of the map, which they can easily do. They can also then later rotate to the top, which is the normal transition, to take the fountain down, and that should not be a problem whatsoever, because just now the 5 heroes for the blue team are back on the map, and the level 10 abilities that we have in the hands of the red team are of course another big problem that they have to deal with. So the wall over here gets destroyed as well. Easy pushback on Jimmy too. He's of course trying to get some exterminator value here. But the next tower is about to get dropped, and then they can start to take down that fountain. Massive lead for the red team now. Really, really well done in the early stages, and they get absolute momentum out of this. I mean, just look at that top lane. They destroyed the fort in the middle, and they are now taking down the top lane. Well, I don't think they can take the fort, but they are incredibly close to it. That's 50% of the HP already gone. Wilq gets attacked, but that is a massive lead that they just now all of a sudden got. So yeah, really well done. This is probably the most value that I've seen out of one of the early protectors in this game. By the way, take it... Oh, good save. Nicely done. Great job by MXD on Anduin. But take a closer look at the stacks for Sylvanas. We are 7 minutes in. Sylvanas has already 100 stacks here on the Unfurling Shadows on level 1. So getting real solid value out of this. Anduin hasn't made a choice for his heroic ability yet. Outside of that, we got Napalm. And they're making the move again. Hammer is in the meantime sitting down at the bottom of the map, trying to push Leo out, which so far has been quite successful. But yep, that fountain, taking it down, would prepare for objective number 3. Top side, the fort is gone though, so that's a bit of a problem. Over here, the fight is still continuing. They try to go for Wilq. Sanctification is already out. Wilq still trying to escape, but he gets dropped regardless. Nicely done. Yeah, and Hammer is still pushing the bot lane. The fountain eliminated, prepares for objective number 3. So Blank is actually doing a solid job here. And is coming in again and pushing Leo even farther out. If this continues and nobody helps out, they're gonna get the bottom fort. I mean, look at this. Richu can't do anything. He can't do jack shit. He's just sitting there and is saying like, team, I need help. And at the top of the map, you can already tell that HYPE PEW PEW is setting up another push that has to be responded to. Liming has now moved down to the bottom of the map. But I kind of like the response here. After level 10 came in, HYPE PEW PEW got the kill against Garrosh and then was able to move through, take the wall, take the fountain, and pretty much equalize the position on the map. I mean, not quite, we're not quite there yet. It's still 2 forts destroyed on the blue team side, but this is real good value that they're getting. And you look at experience, there is a lead, granted, for the red team, but it's not as huge anymore as we've previously seen. Zarya is now also getting a bit isolated, and Wilq with a taunt, and that's a kill. Zarya down, 4 kills against 2, and they are definitely making their way back into this. It's a nice back and forth that we have. First, the red team absolutely murders them. Then the blue team fighting back. Red team trying to fight again for the position here. And off we go. So, shots are being fired over here. And, well, let's have at it. Alright, now everybody is making a move in over towards the camp. Trying to drop this as well. So far, so good. More items. Always good on this map. We have another healing beacon in their hands too. Control point is about to be unlocked at the top. And at the bottom of the map, Wilq is already taking a beating even before he reaches anything. Tries to save that fort. That's not going to happen. He barely survives the attack, actually. And the fort is down. Nicely done. 13 talents on both sides now. And look at Sergeant Hammer. We already talked about the level 4 talent, but now even the tactical mind deployment on level 13. Okay. So, at this point, a little bit more control through the slow alone. But you can tell that both of the teams have a setup, one with Sylvanas, the other one with Hammer, where they can actually push these waves or these lanes out hard. So nobody is actually that determined to go for the objective as you would see in other games. Instead, they realize that they can just take those lanes, at least the forts. We're most likely not going to see pushes for keeps this easily, because you have to just go a lot deeper into the opponent's space and in the opponent's side of the map, which of course exposes you to a potential gank. But right now, the bot lane pressure is there. And good damage against Blank too. That was nicely done here by them. So everybody's starting to now slowly move topside. Zarya, the Entomb is in. The rotation is happening. Svampgrotta is dead. Svampgrotta is dead 100%. That's it. 150 stacks already for Sylvanas. Gore Rider is doing a great job with her. 47,000 damage. Underline exactly that statement. Sergeant Hammer on 35,000, nowhere near the damage output that we're seeing from Sylph. So Gore Rider with a very, very good performance on the hero now, and really good stacking too, considering that we didn't really see this many big fights. That's going to be pretty nice. And let's see. With this, what else are we going to get now? Okay, we have currently 5 kills against 2, 16 against 15 is what we're looking at. Gore Rider, Dialer, the Wilq, all trying to go for their own camp. Okay, over to the left side. Still nothing made just yet. And well, let's have a little bit of a look how the rest is going to pan out here. The next fight is going to be huge, but the red team has the advantage because of the level 16 talent. That's something that the blue team needs to catch up on before they actually take to the fight itself. And they're already trying. Another couple of stacks are coming together, and the blue team has to give it up. They just don't have the talent. They don't have level 16. Can't do anything with it. So this is a red team protector. The second one that they actually get. And since they already took the fort in the middle and the top lane, they are going straight up for the keep here. With Sylvanas, they hope that they can take this. Oh my god! Jimmy just disappeared. Holy shit! Pulling off a Houdini here. One moment he's there, the next one he's gone. So Jimmy dead, now it's a 5 versus 4 and the protector is in play. Yeah, that's a keep. That's great play here by the Polish team. Napier the Dalai, baby! They're going straight for it. Might even try and push it a little bit further. I don't really think that they want to make a play for core. It's a little bit too early for that. But still, pretty impressive what we're currently witnessing here. So they make the rotation into the middle. Could maybe just do a bit of a walk by and try to get some damage on those towers too. But yeah, Sylvanas adding more. Oh! That was a bit of a fuck up. Yeah, someone fat fingered the button. That was definitely not planned. Uh-oh, that was a small mistake there. Yeah. Fat fingering the button and Sylvanas. I mean, you gotta give him some credit though. He dropped the tower. He dropped the turret just in time. This was definitely just a bit of a fuck up on Sylvanas' side. And until then, very good play by Gore Rider, but that of course backfired a little bit. Wilq now gets taken down too. But that was unfortunate. But again, turret at least got dropped, so the blue team couldn't take it away. But of course they have the momentum now and are getting more items out of this situation. Top lane is still pushing a bit, but we're not really in any territory where this is going to become too dangerous. Down at the bottom right of the map, there's still the push happening as they're starting to move even a little bit further with this attack. Hoping, of course, to take maybe even the keep, and they are sieging up hard on this. And for good reason. I mean, they have the perfect setup now. They have Zarya. This is a super strong 5-man. Sylvanas is, by the way, still getting additional stacks. She's nearly at 200, but the keep is under pressure. Top, on the other hand, is starting to damage the core. the shields are falling, and, well, both of those catapults are eventually going to be taken down by the minion wave. But at least in theory, we could see a little bit of damage on the core. Yeah, not quite. It's not late enough in the game. If you would have been a bit later in, maybe 20 minutes in, you would have seen some serious damage on the keep. Oh, sorry, on the core itself. But not so much right now. So the rotation up to the top is still there. This time they're trying to go for the healing beacon. They still hold 2, by the way. Balsa has 1, Dyla has 1, so it's a bit impressive that they're at least able to get this the entire time. So now they hold 3 of those. And the attack is still there. Sylvanas comes in again with a bit of additional damage that he wants to dish out. To give you guys an update, the damage output, 64,000 damage from Sylvanas alone. Yeah, again, she is murdering on the level 1 stacks, considering that we didn't really see this many big team fights. I mean, if you think about it, the biggest team fight was the first one. After that, we didn't have a huge fight over the second checkpoint. So it wasn't really a massive 5 versus 5 or anything there. But Sylvanas is consistently getting good value out of this and is now adding in quite a bit of wave clear too. She's not really on Li Ming's level, who is sitting at 120,000, just a little bit after or behind Sergeant Hammer. But solid setup overall. Half a level to 20, which is more important to them than anything else, I suppose. And Sylvanas is most likely going to go to the top to take all of this down. At least she should. Bot lane gets still pressured a little bit. Blue team is, of course, eager to take that keep down. Li Ming already says hello. It's like, nope. Not happening, boys. Okay. They take the camp at the top. They still have the catapults, keep that in mind. So the catapults eventually should push this out. Shouldn't really take too much damage. Catapults will definitely make that happen. But there's already the rotation down to the bottom. We have the Titanic Might now in. Sylvanas also with the Bolt of the Storm. Here comes the Buried Alive. So huge game-changing talents for especially Leo. And they're already going for the bottom fort. It's most likely going to be a trade since the top is heavily attacked by the blue team. But the one thing that the blue team is trying to do more so than anything else is, of course, to get to level 20. And the red team is just simply taking the opportunity to open up the wall at the bottom, dropping Broccoli over here to soak a couple of the shots. Sylvanas is soon going to be able to disable some of those towers again. And yeah, that's the wall pretty much destroyed. So that's nice value. The wall is more or less gone. So if they take this, they have an easy shot at keep and maybe even core. So a cool setup here now for the red team. Really good first game, by the way. I like it. A lot of good moves that we've seen so far. Some really nice individual play too. But 20 talents are soon going to be ready. On level 16, by the way, mechanical know-how has been taken as well. Over here, there's the Entomb, Buried Alive, Anduin with a save. The attempt to use the repulsion to drop Anduin, but Zarya's deadly Ming comes in and takes her down, gets the reset, and now Sylvanas is just murdering. She gets the double kill. They take Tyrael down to Sylvanas with 205 stacks. And that was just fantastic play by Balsa and Go Rider in particular. I mean, I gotta say, Go Rider is just crushing on that Sylvanas. He made that one bad move earlier, but still he's sitting at 75,000 damage as they're trying to go for core here. Insane play. I mean, if that's not an upcoming Sylvanas ban, then I don't know what that is. That was incredibly well played and a fantastic team fight here towards the end of the game. Nicely done as Hooye Polucky is getting the lead in this series. Bam! There's the kill against Sergeant Hammer. 78,000 damage, 208 stacks. And that's the lead. Best of 3 series here, the winner bracket final. First map, Volskaya Foundry, goes to the red team. GG, and well played. Game number 2! Cursed Hollow is the map, and this one's going to be special. Finally, we have Blank on the Butcher. Spoiler alert. I mean, that guy, I've casted quite a few games now of HYPE PEW PEW and Blank in particular, and every single time the fucking Butcher gets banned against him, and I've never actually seen him on the Butcher, so if someone is so good in that bloody hero that he is consistently banned, then I want to see that in action, and now we get a chance for that. On the left side, we got HYPE PEW PEW with Riku on Sylvanas, Halcyon on Tyrael, MXD on Lucio, Blank on the Butcher, and Swamgrotta on Greymane. And over to the right side of the map, the red team, Hooye Polucky, which is a complete mispronunciation, and I gotta say, I don't give a shit. If you don't give yourself an English team name, I'm gonna call you whatever I want to. If I call them Bob, then they just have to accept that. The Will Q on ETC, Balsa on Cassia, Richu on Thrall, Dyla on Anna, and Gore Rider on Li Ming. And let's go, boys! It's all about the butcher. Oh, fresh meat. Give me some meat, baby. Are we gonna see a vegan butcher? Is he gonna go all vegan on us? Are we gonna have more of a vegetarian setup or full-on carnivore? That's what we're gonna determine now. Blank already up at the top. I like the mount, shredding them 6 days to Sunday. And after the first game, I am pretty hyped for this series. That was a really cool game. I like this. The Sylvanas performance in particular really stood out to me. There was, of course, a lot of good moves that we had from way more players than only Gore Rider. But that was definitely a lot of fun to watch. So now on level 1, we actually get chopped meat here for him. Okay, gonna try and get a little bit more damage in against minions, mercenaries, and monsters, which means that he's actually gonna be quite effective also with this against particularly minion waves, but also the bosses, camps, so a little bit of a multi-purpose that he's gonna serve on this map. And we've seen that priority on items like, on abilities like this a bit more often on maps that have 2 bosses, where you just simply try to play, let's say Vala with the arrow build, you go for Jimmy with Exterminator, just trying to give you the option to play more around the macro level as well if you really want to. Okay, so on the right side of the map, the attempt to actually go for the camp, but they abort that mission. Echo of Elements, by the way, for Thrall, so no Trash Lightning, no Trolling Thunder. Instead, the standard Echo of Elements, trying to go for the double charge. Richu has to be a bit careful topside, though. It's continuous rotations, especially since Lucio can, of course, enable the swift rotation between lanes. Now, keep it... that's an interesting invade. Yeah, it's a little bit risky, but if they can pull that off, that would be a very nice steal if they can make that happen. That's not a guarantee, though, so that's always a risk to run, but they seem to be confident that they can pull it off. Level 4 talents are now in on both sides. Still Butcher and Lucio topside. Sylvanas at the bottom of the map got picked away. So, yeah, they're gonna get this one. The one thing I want to highlight is still that with Tyrael, of course, if you go into Holy Ground, but even without it, Sanctification alone is great for boss control, for the pit control there. So that's something to keep your eyes on. First Tribute is spawning at the bottom of the map. Riku down here on his little snowflake is already moving around. Oh, the aggression up at the top. And that's gonna be a kill. Yes, here we have it. They go for the fountain. Thrall is down. 62 stacks on the Butcher. And with the pretty much the entire team rotating ups, we are also gonna see that fort destroyed. Really nice aggression. You have Greymane in your setup, you got the Butcher, you have a lot of damage against those structures, especially in Worgen form for Swamgrotta. So they look at an opportunity, they push in with the minion wave, and they just take the chance and go in and murder him. So really, really nice setup. Bit of an interrupt down here. Sylvanas is not going to be able to delay this for much longer, though, and Lucio is a bit too late to the party to secure the second. But the Butcher is on 69 stacks now, has gone into the unrelenting pursuit over here. Has his level 4 talent. Level 7 is nearly ready for them. And they are going to look for more kills like that. Try to get those kills, help the Butcher out to stack, and once that's the case, he's going to drop some serious damage in these team fights against single targets. Top lane is pushing even more now that the siege camp is taken. Yeah, and there's the aggression. Sylvanas and Greymane, both are fantastic. You get this setup onto structures and you can absolutely demolish them. Look at these rotations. Lucio empowers the rotations quickly onto another lane whenever they see an opportunity. Sylvanas disables the towers, and then especially Greymane just absolutely destroys them. You can play a huge macro setup with this if you just rotate around your opponent, and thanks to Tyrael, Butcher, Greymane, you can also later on go for isolation kills, try and gank up on someone, and once the Butcher is of course stacked, you have even more potential to get some serious damage out in team fights. And over here they make a very similar play again. They push in with the minion wave and they take another wall down. And you can already tell on the minimap alone that there's a huge problem for the red team, since they lost the top 4, they lost the wall pretty much in the middle, at the bottom it has been destroyed, the fountain too. So these are really strong rotations that we are seeing from HYPE PEW PEW, which make it quite difficult for the Polish team to make any big plays here. Now on level 7, we actually have the Insatiable Blade now. Bit of a movement speed increase, which also allows them, of course, to stay much closer to the target. Blank is already waiting for a potential setup. Level 7 talents are ready for both teams. 10 is not really close for anybody yet. Butcher with the quick rotation towards the middle. That's also where his level 4 talent, so his level 1 talent comes in quite handy. So, yeah, gets the entire setup, gets all of the meat, is sitting at 90, and the team has in the meantime interrupted tribute channel attempts by the red team. And Blank is just sitting there again, waiting of course for the next push. In the meantime, this minion wave is doing some serious damage to the fountain, which could help now too. Already sitting at the side, waiting for an opportunity. Cassia, on the other hand, has always that blind that could be quite powerful when the Butcher is trying to make his approach. And let's have a bit of a look here. Continuous poke here. I mean, this is exactly what you usually see. Everybody's just like trying to play around the tribute. Poking and poking and poking. Butcher moving in, trying to take another wave in, push that out. And they're actually going to make the play for boss now, it seems. Are they just simply going for the wave? Yeah, they're actually showing on the wave. They're trying to go for the fort instead. Greyman is already rotating down. Tribute at the top has now been taken, but that rotation allows them to go for additional stacks for the Butcher and also straight up for the fort itself. So they trade this, and in the meantime, we have both teams aiming for a boss as well. Nice blade. I actually like this. So the blue team just abandons the tribute, says, okay, well guys, we play around level 10. We already had an experience. Let's rotate down, take the second fort, get the boss. Really, really nicely done by them. I like the rotations a lot in this game. Especially the Lucio setup. Again, the hero has its problems, but if you're playing a style like this, then it's absolutely powerful, as I've said 100 times in the past. If you're just playing Lucio like any other support, you're gonna have mad problems. If you use him for good rotations, you play around the ult, for example, or just around the speed boost, you have a lot of good things that you can do with him, and this is quite well shown right here with Greymane, with Sylvanas. Really, really nice setup. And Greymane has now taken to the top in order to take down the boss as quickly as he can, down to the bottom of the map. Even with the siege giants taken, the red team has a lot more problems dealing with this. And now a camp has been stolen away from them too, so they lost this camp over here. They have finally the level 10 abilities too, but here's the next potential setup. Now we have Sundering in, that's a good interrupt of course as well. They're trying to make it for the tribute, because this tribute is going to be hugely important. HYPE PEW needs to get this, or they're going to be cursed. Butcher is at 109 stacks, is getting a few more together as he's now sitting in the middle of the map. Over here, they're still trying to see if they can maybe catch up to Thrall and take him down. So far, that's not the case. Butcher still sitting at the side here, waiting for his opportunity. And is trying to use it. Here comes the ult, and they're getting the quick kill. Nicely done. They want the follow-up against Will Q. He was trying to save Li Ming. Goes instead for the party time, but there's not enough damage around. There's actually only Ana, and that's not enough. That's 2 kills, and the Butcher is able to get both of those meat stacks. Sitting at 158 meat. The quest completed for Thrall, but with the help of the entire team in the rotation towards the middle, another fort falls. Fantastic setup now for HYPE PEW PEW. This is a great game that they're playing here. And again, it's 3 kills against 0, but you can really see that a lot of these rotations are well thought out. They don't rush it, they wait for opportunities. Blank in particular is not finding himself at the front. And that's a problem that you find with a lot of people that play the Butcher on lower levels, that they always try too greedily to go for kills. They're trying to rush it. They're playing much more at the front. They're always trying to just melee. They're in their opponent's face. Blank is playing this patiently. He's waiting it out and waiting for opportunities. This is also another really, really good setup here of what HYPE PEW PEW is doing. So they were trying to go for the camp, they see the red team invading, and instead of trying to fight for it and then ending up losing heroes and the camp also getting taken from them, they actually just fall back. This is probably one of the biggest lessons that everybody has to learn in Heroes of the Storm, that sometimes you simply have to let things go. If your opponent moves in at that moment in time, they just said, okay, we don't have enough people here. They invade with pretty much 5. Let's just give it up. We're going to lose too much if we don't. And we have, with Sylvanas and with Greymane, the tools to de-push it quickly. So it was a cool rotation from the red team. I really like it. It was a fantastic steal from them. Nicely thought out there. They anticipated that the camp would be taken. They saw heroes on other lanes, and they just moved in and stole it away. But also nicely done by the blue team to give it up and not try to, like, it's not the hill that they want to make their final stand on. So instead, it is still playing their style. Once again, here's the attack with a little bit of poke against the red team, as the Polish team is trying to get the experience for level 13. It's 2 tributes against 2 right now. We have level 13 on their side. That gives us by now also the Brutal Strike. So a little bit of a hamstring focus after we've seen the talent already taken on level 1. Yeah, and it's all about the camps now. But this one could be invaded. Yeah, we got the Sword of Justice. No holy ground, but still, that gives them the mobility that he of course needs. And they see the camp, they take it. So the red team is making the same play. The red team saying like, yeah, we don't want to take the fight. We have to let this one go. We don't have level 13 yet. We need the experience. If we lose a hero now, then we're going to get cursed because the next tribute is going to come up any second. And the Butcher is still stacking. 178 stacks for him now. Liming has to move away here. Everybody else is already sitting up at the top, getting in position for the next tribute. And HYPE PEW PEW, they want game 3. Again, this is the best of 3 series in the winner bracket final. Nobody wants to drop down into the losers bracket at this point. So off we go. Right now, level 13 talents are picked. There's still the zone that we're seeing. A little bit of a wraparound towards the top. Butcher again in position, trying to see if he can get an angle on someone. Not the case right now. They're trying to get a little bit more meat for the Butcher here in the middle. He's close. He is really close. Sitting at 181. No zoning out just yet. And everybody dancing around this. This one's going to be important. Keep that bot lane in mind, by the way. Bot lane is eventually going to become a bit of a problem for the red team, especially with another catapult already pushing in. That's going to be an easy interrupt over here. Yeah, Tyrell is the one to take care of it. The 2-level lead gives, of course, a stats advantage to the blue team as well. They're interrupting this for as long as they can. And the bot lane is going to do work because of it. That's a double catapult now. That's going to do quite some serious damage. It's not going to take the keep down. The minion waves are, of course, pushing for the red team too. But it will start to drop some of the hit points of the bottom keep if that trend continues. And that's something to be concerned about. Especially if more push... Yep, there's the tribute against the blue team. This time they couldn't get the interrupt. But the question is just simply how much can be done. The good thing is the D pushes the bot lane immediately. But what is the blue team now going to do? They accept the curse here. They couldn't get the interrupt, so that one was snuck in. And they still go for the boss here quite quickly. Alright, ETC, careful, and slides away. But here's the old Sanctification gets dropped, and they are about to get a kill, or do they? Oh, saved for now. Problem is that now Cassia's in trouble, as she was trying to save them here. Cassia's about to fall, goes down, that's a quest completed. Butcher is done. Tyrael goes down, that's a hashtag worth it play right here. Top fort is in trouble, so that's a bit of a problem. They have nearly level 16 talents now, but the Butcher is stacked. Now they can go for much more aggressive plays than they could previously. Only the top lane is under pressure, and the catapult is even helping to push this out a bit. Slide around in the middle as they're trying to catch them. Butcher is already charging in. Full YOLO play, and he goes for Thrall, but there's the setup. Gore Rider comes in and gets wrecked. So does Anna. That's 3 heroes dead. And the Butcher is going to collect quite a bit of meat here. Butcher is sitting at 200, gets the 210. Should be able to get a lot more. There's the 220 and 230 meat. Yeah, that is going to be serious. There should actually be a little bit more meat around somewhere. I guess that might have already been already disappeared. Butcher is soloing the boss now at the bottom, and the rest of the team, with the help of Greymane, is moving topside. Now, there was one fort that got destroyed, and a fort here has been dropped to 50% HP, thanks to the curse. But as you can see, over here, that's a double boss. Nobody's going to steal that away. Butcher is charging in again, needs the Butcher's brand, and bam, heals himself up. That's an easy solo boss, of course, for him. So 2 bosses are now pushing at the same time against Hooye Polucky. And we also see 8 kills against 1, a level 16 talents in the hands of the red team, of the blue team. And this is going to hurt. This is going to get really, really cursed now. Yeah, that's going to be trouble. I mean, boss tops, we were talking 14 minutes. It's not really horrible just yet, but those bosses have, of course, already scaled a little bit. The 16 talent, 3-level advantage, big stats advantage. And yeah, that's going to be... I mean, this is key. This has to be. Ults are all up. You could go for the push now, too. You can just simply drop a Sanctification if you feel you have to over here. Keep is definitely going to fall. Great setup now. Really well done so far by HYPE PEW PEW in particular, but that keep is a goner. And, well, spoiler alert, the one at the top is also not looking really too hot. So this one is also getting attacked, but of course the blue team has other plans now. They're trying to go for it. They're moving straight in. Will Q can't drop a mosh pit. Cooldown isn't ready here. If they lose a few more heroes, they're gonna be in trouble. Get stunned by the boss, and that's the end of ETC. ETC is down. There's the Sanctification. 240 stacks for the Butcher. This is game, ladies. We're heading into game number 3 in this best of 3 series. Nicely done by HYPE PEW PEW as we are headed straight into the final map of the best of 3 series here in the winner bracket final. GG, and well played. Game number 3, the final map, Towers, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Start similar. And guys, we have a Murky game. I don't know what to say. But a HYPE PEW PEW on the left side with Riku on Greymane. We got Halcyon on ETC, MXD on Ana, Blank on Junkrat, and Swampgrotta on Murky. And on the right side of the map, Hooye Polucky, whatever. Bolsa on Vala, the Polish team with the Will Q on Johanna, Richu on Leo, Gore Rider on Sylvanas again. Alright, give me more, baby. Let's see if he can actually repeat the performance on map number 1. And Dyla on Oriel. Okay. Game on. The Merkmaster. Swampgrotta going full frog here for the 3rd game. And again, just to repeat this is Division 1. The level of play here is Master and Grandmaster. I mean, some of these bad boys have played for some of the Division S teams, of course. Swampgrotta being a good example. But yeah, we are looking at a pretty solid series in the winner bracket final. This is the last map for it in this best of 3. The winner goes to the grand final. The loser has another shot to move through the loser's bracket then later on. Level 1, that's where we're going to get the fisheye. Rotation so far a little bit farther up to the top, with Bolsa now getting the trade from Dyla down to the bottom of the map. Murky against... Ooh, that was nearly a detection on this one. Murky is going to fall maybe? No, not yet. But Go Rider is going into stacks again on level 1. So he actually went into the Unfurling Shadows once more. Dyla is in a bit of trouble. The slide and the kill. Nicely done. Very well done by them. Okay, so I want to see how many stacks we're going to see for Go Rider this time. The last time he ended up with 208. Doesn't have to actually go into the same amount here, but he made huge plays. Huge plays on the last map, and I just want to see how far he can go this time. And well, the first thing that happens is he gets actually wrecked by Ana. I guess it was more so Greymane than Ana, but Ana gets the final hit in. So now we have 2 kills against 0. And down to the bottom of the map. Yeah, there's still... the fish is still going for it. Protect it! Yeah, nope. Always take down the puffer fish as quickly as you can. The most important thing right there. With this, we're now having the move down to the bottom, where the camp is being fought over. I like that both teams are actually aiming for the Siege Giants. It's going to be a bit of a brawl over that, I suppose. Problem, of course, is that the blue team has a few more heroes in position already, and with Greymane, they have enough firepower to take the camp down quickly, which is exactly what they're doing now. Alright. Outside of that, Swampgrotta still moving away with his Murky, has now gone into the slime on level 4. Dyla is in trouble, gets the heal out though, and survives for now. Yeah, Go Rider trying to get a few additional hits in, but doesn't really get too much now in the stacks. He's sitting on 12, but is struggling a bit more to get those early stacks together. I mean, it's only 2 minutes in the game, don't get me wrong. But yeah, we're going to keep our eye on him. But this is actually really nice, because I have zero idea who's going to take this. There's not really a big advantage for either one of these teams, and the 2 maps that we've seen so far showed very different playstyles, and honestly, really good performance from both teams. Khaldor was probably a little bit more one-sided than the first map, particularly given the way that the blue team really owned that macro comp that they were playing there, and also were able to stack the Butcher. So that was real nicely done by them. And Blank was probably very happy that he finally had an opportunity to showcase the Butcher now as well. Usually that hero gets banned out against him, and for good reason, as you could already see. Okay, so with that, we have immediately our little setup here with 2 kills against 0. Camps taken. An easier defense against the red team's camp, so maybe the blue team has a chance to push through the wall over here and get a little bit of a setup. And off we go. Richu is already sitting in position to turn in, but Murky interrupts him. Level 7 talents soon to pop in for the blue team. Maybe that gives them a bit more cover to go for their own turn-in. Blank actually delivering 22. That's huge. And they are nearly done with the turn-in. Murky is holding 4 at the bottom of the map. And it's of course going to be really important that Svamkota doesn't die too much here if he holds gems. But now with level 7 talents, they get the turn in. Vala's also sitting tight so far. Needs to be careful because there's a huge setup against her. Yeah, nice move. Ana with the sleep dart. If that one hits, Vala is dead. ETC would slide in and they would get the kill easily. So these Ana setups with a good sleeping dart are very nasty if you hit them against one of the damage dealers. Level 7 versus level 7. Top side, that's where we're currently looking at the defense of Vala. Going solo on this. Leo doing the same thing at the bottom of the map. Over here, the whip comes out. Oriel keep it cracking. And we still have the push through the middle. Murky getting some value against Leo down to the bot lane still. But Greymane, of course, coming in and taking this down. Yeah, entire wall is done. And the Wilq trying to cover as much as he can. The problem is if you lose the fountain, that's already the stain in the mid lane gone. Sylvanas in trouble again, and good control. Yeah, they are actually controlling Sylvanas much better than they did in game number 1. So you gotta give it to HYPE PEW PEW here. They definitely made sure that Sylvanas is having a much harder time to get the stacks together this time. There's good interrupts against most of the moves. Murky is dead. That's actually gems lost at the bot lane. And that's the problem with Murky on this map. Of course, you can get a lot of value through wave clear, but the gems that you have are very easily lost if someone rotates over and helps out with the damage. So that could be a setback in the long run. Svamkota has still done a great job at the bot lane. Removed the entire wall and also put damage onto the fort. So we have level 9.5 for the blue team, which theoretically might end up giving them the early level 10. And maybe even the second turn because of that. That's something that they can wait out for. And let's see. Alrighty, so bot lane, that's where they're currently starting to move in. Richu is sitting tight, Svamkota, and Gore Rider is coming into. Okay. Well, for now, let's actually have a little bit of a setup here. Level 10. Octograb, alright. Octograb for Murky. Yeah, we don't see any Murlocs here, but yep, Octograb instead. With level 10, of course. A bit more aggression. Even trying to go for the hit. Junkrat with the Riptire. Couldn't get the kill, though. But now that they're rotating, they would love to get another turn in, but they're just way too far away on gems to make that happen. But with Octograb, it's going to be kind of fun to see what they can pull off with that. 37 stack for Sylvanas. Party time! And there's the kill. Yeah, Jojo comes in, trying to recover the gems, but is maybe too far out. Octograb used. Leo comes in, same idea, tries to get the gems for them. And he has 54 right now. But that's 2 kills against the red team. 5 kills against 0. The Murky setup. Full on prime time, slime time. As they are making their way through the middle of the map, Murky is still pushing out the bot lane. And with 2 heroes dead or just now reviving, this is of course going to be another big hit against the structures on the right side of the map. 1-4 taken down, the one at the bot lane, heavily damaged. And so far, so good. Damage output, as Murky is pushing through this, 17,000 for Junkrat, 16,000 for Vala. Gore Rider this time with the Sylvanas is at 12,000 damage so far. Leo's of course going to try and turn in. I mean, he wants to get rid of those gems as quickly as he can. He holds way too many here. 57 on him alone, that's a huge problem. And I think this time he might finally be able to deliver, and does. And that is the Web Beaver wave, of course, right here. Okay, so off we go. Camp on the other side has already been taken, and currently Riku is waiting for the Web Beavers to come down so they can grab this as quickly as they can. And off we go. What do we get here? Here we go. Web Beavers in. Oriel with the Aegis. Yeah, Gore jumps out. Oh, close call. Nice. The Entomb has a follow-up. ETC doesn't get the stun against Sylvanas, and then he gets trapped himself. Has the quest completed just now. Gets the last globe here. Web Beavers in the mid lane have easily been defeated. Murky's done with his quest at 810. That's also nice for him. And the rotation towards the top to take the Web Weavers down over here as Murky is dealing with the bottom of the map. That's a really nice defense. HYPE PEW PEW is making a very solid defense happen. And that's not a lot of damage. I mean, a couple of the walls are taken down, but it's nothing too insane. Murky at the bot lane has pretty much saved everything here, if we're honest about it. Up towards the top, Halcyon is jumping out again with ETC. Needs to be careful that he doesn't get dropped, but so far it's not a single kill against the blue team. It's pretty impressive. That's not a single kill against HYPE PEW PEW. Svamgrota, Murky has 25 gems, so this is one of those moments when you gotta be a bit careful. He went on level 13 for the fish tank, so that's actually pretty important for him, for survivability. But if you hold this many gems on Murky, you gotta be cautious. There's something that you definitely want to deliver at some point, and they're already working on the second Web Weaver wave in the middle. 35 gems now turned in, they hold another 40. Murky still has the Octograb though, so that's a huge opportunity here to lock another target down. With the level 13 advantage, they still do well. Tries to get the turn in, he's going to be interrupted for sure. The arrow comes in, tries to make that happen again, and I think this time Svamgrota is going to be able to deliver. Same play that we've seen previously from the blue team, now on the red team side. They're going for the camp just as the Web Weavers are about to be taken. Svamgrota is sniffing this out. Up at the top, the move against Sylvanas, the sleep dart, and Gore Rider doesn't stand a chance here. No chance to make any play. Sleep dart interrupted all of his hopes to maybe make it out of that situation. And that's 6 kills against 0 now, and we're looking at a 1.5 level lead. Murky on his little toy train down here. I mean, it's an opportunity lost since we don't see the money pick, but still, combo in for the little setup here as well with the train. Not really a bad mount by any means. A little bit of a combo train is always nice. And they're rotating in, trying to make it for Leo. Octograb, sleep dart, slide, and down he goes. Leo eliminated, and the opportunity to go through the wall a bit. Gore Rider's already trying to at least get some damage connected, but has to be super careful here since this is the entire 5-man that is pushing through the bot lane. The rest of the red team is pushing through the middle at this point, but down at the bottom of the map, as you can already tell, the wave clear's there. The pufferfish is doing work. They're getting all of the gems now, and that keep is super exposed. Very difficult to hold. But since the Web Weavers have at least been taken down, there's still a chance. There's no level 16 yet, so the red team is trying to force the fight before that happens. There it is, the setup against Anna, and Gore Rider is trying to go for Murky. That's 20 gems, or maybe even more, lost for the blue team. Nicely done. Gore Rider getting a few more stacks together now. As we're talking about, this has to jump out, though needs to be really careful here. They were hoping for more kills, but they couldn't get it. But Murky losing the gems is, of course, a bit of a setback. And that's exactly what we talked about earlier. That's one of the problems playing the hero here. Svamgrota, then again, is with level 60 now in a position where he can slime it up a little bit more, and he does, with a toxic build-up. But the red team has turned in. Now, they don't have level 16, so that is a problem. But they could still be able to do a bit of damage here. Yeah, and Murky can now start to harass the keep over and over again. It's always annoying when you're the player that's on Murky duty, and we're gonna see who has to make that play. For now, Svamgrota's coming in again with the slime, and yeah, Richu is taking down the pufferfish quickly. But just look at the setup. Look at that fight. It's just full-on slime setup. The quest is completed, he has level 16, and he's just gonna slime everything until the end of days. And that's a massive problem for Leo now. Leo just doesn't have anything here. Murky has 82,000 siege damage, 23,000 hero damage, and it's just ramping up for him. Most of the Web Weavers have already been taken down, while at least the ones at the top. The wave is even pushing against the red team's fort. Now we're having the defense set up in the middle. Sylvanas is doing as much as she can. Murky distracting the team for as long as possible. Balsa by now on 25,000, oh sorry, on 32,000 damage. 73, 74 stacks, a few more now for Sylvanas. Bot lane gets pushed out through, but Murky is just doing what he does best. Irritating the opponent's team, pissing them off 6 days to Sunday, and just being a nuisance in the first place. And Svamgrota plays him well. Svamgrota plays him really well at this point. I mean, he is a huge thorn in the side of the red team. Choo-choo! Comes in again, tries to slime it up a little bit, and already bubbles away. Even Sylvanas is now coming out down to try and take him down. And of course, the good thing is if they take him down, that's again gems lost, and that's what they get. So that's 11 gems lost. That's the problem. You lose a lot of gems. The problem, of course, for the red team is that despite the fact that they're killing Murky multiple times and delete the gems, they lost 7 heroes, and they didn't kill anybody outside of Murky. which means that they lost a fair amount of gems too, but they don't get any counter kills. They need to get those kills together, and right now it just doesn't happen. They miss everything pretty much. They missed the Entomb, the first Raid of Vengeance didn't connect, the second one does, but now they can't even get the kill against ETC. I mean, the team is unlucky as hell right now. Greyman is at the bottom of the map, taking the Siege Giants against them. They're 2 levels behind. It's 16 versus 16 at least, but you can really tell that they're in trouble. They just have real problems at this point getting those kills together. Even when they have an opportunity to get an isolation kill, it just doesn't work out for them. Gore Rider turns in. 52 gems have been turned in for the blue team. 37 for the red team. Leo still has to deal with the bottom of the map. Leo is pretty much just on PvE duty all game long. I mean, he's sitting down at the bottom of the map and he just has to clean this shit up. Janitor indeed. Same time now, the aggression towards the camp, trying to get the mid lane pushed out a bit. Over here, Octograb is possible, hasn't been used yet, could wait that out, but Svampgorotta is not jumping in yet. But holy hell. Super annoying situation. Look at Murky's damage. 31,000 by now. Yeah, the slime setup does work. Good siege damage too. Fort at the top lane has now been destroyed. 19 against 17. The red team is in trouble. They need to force fights before level 20 is there, and that's exactly what they're trying to do up at the top. They're starting to move in, and finally the kill against Junkrat. Junkrat is finally down, so they get the kill done. But the Web Weavers have to be dealt with. And the one at the top lane, that's not going to be a problem at all. They can take this down quickly, but they need to move down to the bottom of the map as quickly as they can now. They need to save that keep, and that's not going to be easy with Murky already moving in. Especially since the rest of the team is already joining up. There's the Octo grab, and that's a kill. Good power slide, fantastic follow-up. Gore Rider a bit too far out this time, and Murky punishes him right away. And that's now 4 versus 4 on the map. Web Beaver takes the fountain down, but they can still defend. They still were able to save the keep, so that's nice. Svampgorotta gets away. 6 gems, not too much just yet. Mid lane still has to be defended against, but here's the level 20. That's the problem that the red team had. That's the problem why they were trying to force these fights. Because they knew that they had a huge disadvantage when it comes to experience. And that 2-level lead, to bridge that, is nearly impossible. And of course, what does HYPE PEW PEW do? They immediately go for boss. They keep Murky on those lanes a bit. He's currently moving towards the top. But this is... you can't play around this. Junkrat is back. Sylvanas isn't here. That's a boss. And they try to turn in now, which pretty much means they're trading their turn in for the boss defense. So because of the turn in, it's likely that HYPE PEW PEW will fall back and try to defend against the Web Weavers, which will allow the red team to set up a defense at the top lane against the boss. That's the trade that you go for. But, I mean, theoretically speaking, HYPE PEW PEW could just say, you know what, guys, let's fuck it. Let's just simply go for the push, sacrifice a fort or two if we have to, but we get a keep in return. Let's call that worth it. So he could theoretically make that play. And Murky is actually moving topside now. He has Octograb back now as well. So the Web Weavers in the mid and the bot lane, they're gonna push, but up at the top, blue team is just saying, we got a level 20 and we got a boss. Screw it, we go for it. Take that keep down and see what else we can get. If we can get a kill or two, we might even be able to go for core instead. Yeah, and there's the aggression as expected. Again, the Octograb and the kill. Oriel with the wrong Aegis. They are hitting all the wrong buttons right now. Honestly, at this point, they're just unlucky. I don't know if it's nerves, if it's just adrenaline. I don't know what's going on here. But Hooye Polucky is having huge problems now. They lose 4 heroes in this setup. An entire 5-man team wipe to finish out the series. And HYPE PEW PEW advances to the grand final of the Mythical Championship here in Division 1 of HeroesLounge.gg. GG and well played.